Good evening, everyone. The occasion to share my view. Let me first of all introduce myself. I am Father Firas Lutfi, a Franciscan friar from the Holy Land. I am a Syrian and actually I'm living and working here in Lebanon, in Beirut, in the capital of Lebanon. A few months was in Syria, especially in the city of Aleppo. You heard a lot big and the patrimony of humanity, the heritage of humanity cities in and around the world. I was there during the war, and I tried to really put my the poor remain in Aleppo. So this is the occasion. Chumismav invited me to tell you about my experience, and then in feedback we can share our questions together. So, first time since 2004, for first time. Beautiful experience, because Aleppo was the of industry and development at that time. Also, the number of population was about 4 millions of people in this big and huge city. Somebody calls Aleppo the city who doesn't sleep, because there is work day and night. The people of Aleppo also are full of life and energy. They are creative in music, in many other. This beautiful city, since 2011, to suffer a lot, dramatic. Yeah. As you see and you heard in TV, in social media, the situation was really catastrophic and terrible. The city of Aleppo was the symbol of the destruction and desolation. Half of the population left away their home and their property and escape to search another place to be safe with their children and with their relatives. So the city of Aleppo was really the symbol of the atrocity of this in Syria. We was there during the bombarding, and we tried to help people in need. People suffered a lot, not only the damage of their place, home, the schools, and the huge industry in Aleppo, but especially their lives. They were worried about the situation of the present and the future of the children, and the entire family remained in Aleppo. So the huge question was what we can do for this generation who suffer a lot, what we can do and offer and put our possibility in that situation, critic, dramatic, and very difficult. Many another questions we try to listen, especially from the small generation. I heard about the history of one friend who said, I am not afraid of myself because I lived in this life and I enjoyed my time, but I'm worried a lot about my child. I can't afford the moment to see one of them dead in front of my eyes. This is, Father, I can't support and I can't accept. Imagine the sufferance and the need of water, without electricity, without any kind of elementary and basic dignity. So the church tried to take the place of this empty society, to take decision really to stay beyond the people in suffering. And the Franciscan father also make everything to take care of people, not only of Christian, that they are minority there, but to everybody, Muslims and everyone, because we believe we appertain to humanity. We are living as a brother since many centuries. And because we are sharing the same suffering, the same pain, the same problems. So the Franciscans start to help people with the elementary thing, just to distributing water, because the jihadists cut the water for all entire the city. The Franciscan also helped with Boxes Elementary. This Boxes Elementary was basic need to eat, to sustain themselves. Franciscan to help people with the construction of their houses demolished by bombarding and by destruction. Since 2016, we started an interesting project in Aleppo. I saw the suffering of children, enduring in their soul. The children, they are affected by the fear of war. The children who was forbidden to play and to enjoy moments of sport, of painting, drawing, to exit from home because danger and bombarding was in everywhere. So I was there, call it Tersant. Tersant, it was a big school. In this war, we tried to open all the possibilities place, and I asked myself what we can do for those. I concentrate my attention. I found a friend called Dr. She is a doctor, psychologist, and together we tried to open this big center called Franciscan Care Centre. It is the idea children with the call it art therapy to them they need, especially in sport. For this objective, we 3 playground and 3 camps, 2 camps for football and 1 for basketball. Then in this big Franciscan Care Center, we open this art therapy project. Art means that, excuse me, maybe the internet is not so hard. We are in Middle East, sorry. So we started with a program with Dr. Binan, that she is expert in psychology. And our project is divided by a sector. For example, we have a beautiful sector of painting and drawing. In this dimension, the children can express themselves. To explain what happened in their soul. And then we can also examine the state before, during, and after this treatment. Then we have the theater. The theater also a beautiful instrument to take care about the children, to increase themselves the trust to express and to build their beautiful and nice personality. Then we have also the sport. We try to open a beautiful swimming pool. Nobody can imagine that inside the monastery we can open a swimming pool. But thanks God, and of many our benefactors, a beautiful Olympic pool. And you can imagine the joy of children when they finally try to use this swimming pool after years of interruption, after years to stay at home, after years without any kind of. We are that in eastern Aleppo we have lots of children without registration, official registration. They are living inside the ruin, houses completely destroyed, and people without work, without the basic and elementary kind of human being, and they are abandoning to themselves. So, first of all, we thought to find official registration, these boys and girls born during this war, and we don't know their identity, who is the father, who is the mother, and they are living but without identity. So we try to put on a project called Name and the Future. Help these children to have an official identity in the government, and then to help them, to assist them, to furnish them languages, English, French, and to support them psychologists. And we found lots of autism and Down children, and children that they need and physiotherapy and many other things. We tried also to help mothers of these children that they are also living alone without any kind of support. So it is occasion to help these mothers to take care about their children. Sometimes there is no parents, no mother, no father, and these children, unfortunately, they have nobody. So the biggest child take care about his brothers and sisters. But that is the situation of Eastern Aleppo. So beside the art therapy project, we take also a place in Eastern Aleppo, creating 2 centers. In each center, we have 500 children. So actually, we can say that we offer the possibility in our centers for more than 2,000 children since we opened this project. And you can imagine the joy of the children with their eyes, everything, torture, violence, person who kill, cutting the head of somebody, but in front these innocent. So they have in their memory, in their soul, all this bad experience. So when we take these children to our monastery to play around and to have time, to enjoy time, to swim in our swimming pool, for them it is like to go, I don't know, in the States or in French or in Italy, in Europe. I touch with my eyes, with my heart, the painful situation of these children, but also the joy of their mothers. You can imagine, I remember very well the one time I entered to them in the class. It is for first time that they see the friar, Franciscan, Christian, because in that region they are everybody Muslims. And no talk with me. They don't know what say to the religious friar. But after 2 months, after 3 months of working with them, giving them all the chance and the possibility, the opportunity to express themselves and to assist psychology, and with many another kind of activities, they are also now very open. They considered and they appreciate this project. One of these ladies said to me that you give us light, you give us the true life. We lived in the darkness of war, of fear. And now, when we met you, your project, we can't come back at that experience again. We are like reborn to the new life. In my heart, I experimented this beautiful experience of but you can imagine how long time we need to rebuild not also the stones destroyed by the bombarding and the war, the soul of everybody who damaged, a case of violence, a case of war, a case of preoccupation, mutilation of somebody of the family. So I consider Franciscan Care Centre is a of entire church who try to help people. We can't already in that complicated situation resolve everything, but everybody has a possibility to do something. Like me, like many other brothers and sisters, Franciscan, Jesuit, Salesian, and sisters also, all the church try to do really something in Aleppo. So I tried just to put a small panorama for how was the situation during the terrified war in Aleppo. And I just mentioned a few examples how the people lived and suffered. The unique preoccupation was to stay or to leave the country. What about the future? What we can do? Where we can to stay? Safety without having bombarding or fear that somebody of our family will lose. Actually, the situation not resolved for at all. After the problematic war, long war, you know that in last March, we enter 10th year of war. We have some places in Syria again under the jihadist control. We have also 2 parishes and 2 Franciscan friars who are living there at the borderline with Turkish government. And they are living there because we have 300 families living there. And they are preoccupied, they are worried about, because, you know, the situation is really danger. Many of them are killed and somebody was kidnapped and nobody can go to work and to take care about their camp, etc. So the friar there, Father Hanna and Father Luaid, 2 unique Catholic Franciscan present there in that situation, are living and testimony this beautiful love for everybody, this gratitude, example of generosity and service, like Jesus, who is the shepherd who put himself to save all together. That situation is really complicated because we are waiting to have definitely that region to come back inside the official statement, because Turkey has an interest there, but the legal land is Assyrian land, not Turkish land. But we hope that this complicated political situation have at end a resolution, definitive resolution. For a moment, they are living there. Again and again, the Franciscan try to stay beside the people who suffer. So it is our, I'm reading the question. Yes, I understand. Yeah, let me complete this idea, and I'm going immediately to answer on this question, beautiful question. Why we are helping also another Christian, not only the Christian community, but also Muslims and everybody. Yes. Let me say that our presence there is light, like the salt of earth. We can't with indifference. Pope Francis called our attention to live and to open our hearts and to consider everybody our brothers and sisters, not only with his appartenance on the religion, but because he is human being. He is like me. He is a person with complete dignity. I thank Father Marek Chimiswa, also my friend Magic. They are a big friend. They came several times in Syria, especially in Aleppo. I will give them the citizen Aleppian. And thank you for already your encouragement to open this window and to talk about not only my experience as a Father Firas, but the experience of the church, the experience of everybody with a good heart, everybody who decide to be a human person concretely. Thank you, Father Chimiswav, encourage donation and sustainability of this project, many projects in Aleppo, in Syria. This help, we still suffer. Imagine now the situation with coronavirus, and I will answer the question. People who work and give something to eat to their child, parents, etc. Once the government said stay at home without movement, without exiting from home, etc. From where he can find money to buy something to eat? I heard one person who said to me, we have two choices, from coronavirus or from hungry. This is the situation of Syria actually. Although there is no bombarding, especially in Damascus, in Aleppo, and in the center of city, but they are completely in need. They are without any kind of sustainability. They need to stay at home, but to eat and to pass the time not having hungry and not dying by hungry. So this occasion is already nice to see and to think and to share the suffering and the need of our brothers and sisters living after 9 years of war. Now they have another war with a known enemy, coronavirus. I'm sorry for what is happening in all around the world about dying. Many people dying in Italy, in France, in Spain, in United States, but I consider this is a big lesson for everybody. Let us think about fragility of human being. Let us think about how is the project of the person who guided this humanity with money, with arrogance and with egoism. I think that this experience must change something in our heart. Tomorrow, after a few months, somebody will find the medicine to help people come back in normal life. But we have to exit and to be impressed in our heart, in our mind. Coronavirus is something to teach us what is important and in life. It is important, work is important, health is very important, anything, but the most important thing is to be human being and to don't think just about your needs, but to open your heart and to share the suffering of the poorest of the poor. I just will finish with the meditation that Pope Francis have made in St. Peter Square last week, and commenting Evangelium, the Gospel of St. Mark, where Jesus in the boat, and it was a terrible wind, and disciples was afraid to die, and Jesus said to them, "Why you are afraid? I am with you. You have to trust that I'm the Lord, that I will save you from everything. Just continue to have faith and hope and charity." And Pope Francis commented this beautiful gospel that we are, as a human being, in the same boat. Nobody can save himself alone. We have to trust that we are a big, beautiful, nice human being family. This is my answer also to the question. This is a hard question we always have to answer to people, to focus only to Christians. So why with this donation we help not only the Christian? Because the gospel don't have a difference between Muslims and Christian and Buddhism, Confucius, because God is Father for everybody. I am a Christian not because it is a privilege, but I am a Christian because I have to be the light of the world, the salt of the food. I am a Christian because I have to give myself everything on the example of Jesus, who put himself, all his energy to redeem not only Christian, by sure, the Christian has a nice identity, but to redeem all humanity. It is a beautiful occasion for us, for the Church, during the war, actually in the context of coronavirus. How many priests in Italy died about a case of coronavirus? I just will mention this beautiful example of priest who is old, but one more that he saw that another young people is beside him with the same problem. He renounced on the oxygen himself to die, to give the chance for that young to live and to have life. Again, I repeat that we have this beautiful mission to be the light of the world and salt of the food. In this critical time, difficult time, we have to build bridge, as Jean Paul II said several times. We have to build bridge, not walls. And I have, with my personal experience, say that Muslims and Christians, we have the same preoccupation to look on the future together, to build a nice society, and to see in each other what is common, not what is the differences. What is common is the suffering, the death, the war, the hungry, the thirst. What is difference? It is dogmatic situation and argumentation. It is good to treat it, but academic side, in university, in debate, but not with the simple people. The simple people want to live in peace, want to live in harmony and in serenity, not to create conflicts, problems, enemies. And answering this question, beautiful question, I can say that what we receive, I believe that we receive from the hands of God, that He is Father for every Christian. And when we give donation, we think also in premise, the priority is for Christian, and the Christian during this terrifying war in Aleppo, these 9 years of Aleppo, are okay, and we under the supporting of the church. I'm worried about the situation of donation, because the traditional countries where donation arrived, now they are in a big financial and economical problem. Europe, for example, after the crisis of coronavirus, is worried about the economical and financial situation. So, if there is no another question, I just repeat my thanks to my friends who give me this about Franciscan Care Centre with 2 projects, art therapy and name and the future, to talk about my experience as a friar, but Franciscan, Christian, human being in Aleppo was really building bridge between culture and human being. My wishes for you all, dear friend, brothers and sisters, to discover in this critical moment of humanity, because coronavirus don't distinguish between a good person, big and small, men and women. Everybody has can experiment this problem, but I think that we have nowadays to think about how to save humanity, how to think about future without violence, without war, without egoism, without any kind of assassination and death. Let us to give of our creativity, because we can do this, but together, not alone. So I wish you a blessed Holy Week. I wish you that this a beautiful time of Paschalis, resurrection, Easter time will be a great moment of joy, of serenity, of peace in your heart, for your families, for all the world. Let us ask the blessing of the Lord to take away this coronavirus, to help also the volunteers, the medical, all the staff who work day and night to save the life of the person with this problem of coronavirus. And may Almighty God give us His peace and His serenity. And thank you very, very much. Thank you. God bless you.